Noise. Alright guys. Just grab the other chair from around the back for me. Yeah. You can drop that on the floor. Alright guys. Um I'm gonna get started soon. Just 1 minute. Alright, give me 1 second. Alright, so ready to go. You can ask your questions here or um yeah. You can ask your questions here or you can send the questions to the group and I'll do my best to answer them thoroughly. So this morning I'm going to spend time to answer questions deep, thoroughly. All right? So let's get cracking. So there's a question that was asked in the group, I think by, just try and get the person's name up. Somebody who said that they won't be in this chat. Hey. So let's get what's up. Yeah guys, I'm just trying to move your stuff onto my split screen. Just give me a second, 1 second please. Okay, so we got you back up here. Now we're just trying to split. Okay, so we're in business now. And the first question that I'm going to go through for this morning was asked earlier, and it was a really thorough question. It's a list of questions. Actually, I'm trying to bring it back up now. And it was asked by, trying to bring it up, Jeanette. So Jeanette asked this morning about what is happening to her body. Right, so it was the weight loss I'm currently experiencing is at an early stage. Is it water loss or fat loss? So let's just break this down into one at a time. So the weight loss that happens initially, all right, it is water weight, all right? So what happens is that weight, the cells or the bubble, the circle, is filled with what we call fat, triglycerides, right? So these triglycerides fill up the cells. And triglycerides, which is liquid fat, so to speak, in a simple term, start to seep out when you change your lifestyle. So this starts to seep out of the cell. Now, what happens if the cell starts to fill back up with water. So the cells may change in how you appear because inflammation may reduce, the shape of your body may reduce, but you still have the cells, and the cells are starting to fill back up with water. So the cells sometimes still maintain their shape. So when the cell maintains their shape, the water doesn't start to seep out again till further on in the process. When the water starts to seep out, the cells then start to shrink. And this is now the fat cells. When the fat cells start to actually shrink is when we reach to a process of saying that the cells are no longer there or are no longer in a position to give you shape of fat tissue. So it's a process which then answers the question in the sense that yes, the weight loss you're currently experiencing potentially is definitely water weight or change in cell. Can you let those people know I'm doing a live? It's on in a cell, or it's a situation where we're trying to refill back the cells with um, with fluid, which is definitely not triglycerides. All right, so that's the process of it. So the first stage is definitely some kind of water reduction, but then it then changes as the process goes along. So yeah, you're right. The first stage is water. All right, to make it simple. The second stage is I'm having loss of appetite. In fact, looking at tuna now makes me feel nauseated. Is this normal? Fat loss, weight loss affects different people differently. And some of the symptoms or changes that one may experience will vary from person to person. Losing appetite could be due to a number of reasons. It could be to so many factors. It could be also linked to deficiency of certain minerals. It could be linked to you just not wanting to eat that food. So it could be purely psychological. It can be linked to so many different factors. But the bottom line is that fat loss comes with a whole heap of different happenings to the body. And the bottom line that will come down to is that once these experiences are not dangerous, it is very important to then try and then push through them. As I said, the first 10 days is normally the hardest part. Once you get through these first 10 days, the process becomes easier because the body is trying to find equilibrium. You've just given the body a new shock, a new stimuli that causes the body to want to adapt. And that's the whole process of fat loss. That's why I don't believe in writing meal plans. That's why I don't believe in approaching this thing on a level where we write individual programs for people based upon calories. Because I've said this to many people over the years. If I ask you to climb the highest mountain every day in Jamaica, which is Blue Mountain, and I give you only 1,000 calories per day, what is going to happen is your body is going to adapt to carrying out that high level activity whilst also operating on that lower end of calories. So our program is designed to always promote change that will actually keep the results coming. So whatever stage that you are now, it's very important that you keep maintaining the protocols for that stage, because you want to get all the result that you can out of that stage, because the process is going to evolve, which is going to require changes for you to then get improvements. So that's the first one. That's the second part. Appetite is just probably one of the experiences that you're having, but you still need to meet the requirements of eating in terms of fueling the body, right? So don't starve yourself, especially if you're in the yellow group. The yellow group is a stage where you're introducing whole foods back into the body. You're normalizing the metabolism at a higher calorie number to where you're going to end up. So how I've written this program is strategic for long-term fat loss and for sustainable fat loss. So please follow the protocols based upon where you are, as strict as you can, because it comes with changes and the changes will happen over time. Number 3, if I overexert myself outside of just exercise, I can feel my heart rapidly pounding. Not as before. I don't know if it's just anxiety or should I be worried. If you're feeling pains or issues with your heart, you need to see a health professional. I can't speak to that because there are so many tests a doctor would have to conduct to then eradicate what it could or couldn't be. But it isn't normal for your heart to be experiencing these things. I mean, the yellow group, all the yellow group is simply just eating whole foods. There's nothing to the yellow group apart from eating whole foods, right? That is all that there is. So you shouldn't really be experiencing major issues in that group. What it is, your body is used to glycolysis, which is depending on sugars and carbohydrates for energy. So we're just trying to get around that. Moving on. Finally, I can't seem to go or no urge to use the loo since I started this. Should I be worried? We're trying to get your body back into a position where it works functionally. I'm a functional nutritionist. The difference between me and a typical nutritionist is that I look at the body as a whole. I don't look at nutrition solely. I'm a trained exercise professional, trained health professional. I'm trained in many different areas which accumulate health, not just nutrition, not just exercise. So from that standpoint, we can talk about fiber and the issues behind fiber intake being too low. Fiber is a great thing for weight loss or fat loss. Fiber fills you up. And not only does fiber fill you up, right? Fiber also allows your body, the roughage, your body for the metabolism, the digestive system to work effectively to clear wastes and toxins. So this is a part of that process. So you may need to purchase a fiber powder, right? I've seen where fiber powder helps people who fiber intake is not where it's supposed to be. And you can add this to some liquid and just drink it. So a fiber powder is important if you're not getting enough roughage. That is why we suggest that you eat vegetables every single meal. There's a reason why you should eat vegetables every single meal, right? That helps you to go to the toilet. So if you're not having vegetables every single meal, that could be another issue in why you're not able to regularly use the bathroom. But you should be using the bathroom no less than once a day. Like literally, no less than once a day. Alright? So moving on. Alright, so I hope that answers all your questions, Jeanette. And you'll be able to see this at a later time because you're not in this chat right now. Next question is from Vanessa. Vanessa is in the green group. Are you allowed to eat half a grapefruit on a day that no workout was done? So grapefruit would be considered a carbohydrate, but it's a very healthy fruit. So it's a citrus fruit. Citrus fruits are great for the stomach. So I don't want anybody to misconstrue that because I've eliminated things out of your diet, it means that it is bad. No. It just means that this is a stage that you're in to optimize fat loss and get the best out of fat loss. So the answer for Vanessa is, can you have a grapefruit on a day that there's no workout that's done? Why not just do the workout so you can have the grapefruit? Why not just go for a walk so you're entitled to have that level? We're trying to cultivate a mindset, right? We're trying to create a structured way of thinking. We're trying to create change that promotes habitual patterns. So the bottom line to this is these new habits that we are structuring out are heavily linked to where we're trying to take you. So there's nothing wrong with doing an extra day workout, Vanessa, in order to then earn your carbohydrate, right? The rules are the rules. Carbohydrate is carbohydrate. I can't change something from being a carbohydrate. But what I can do is allow you to then use the structure to work for you. Just have a walk. or go for a run. The body is able to move every single day. Movement then puts you in a position to earn certain things, which would then allow you to get closer to the results that you want. This is all about setting the right habits to get the desirable results that you're after. So, Vanessa, I hope that answers your question. Um, let's move on to the next question. Let's see what's coming up on YouTube, please, so I can then address that. So, guys, you can ask on YouTube or you can ask on. I was looking at. I've answered the stuff already on WhatsApp. So on YouTube here, I'm seeing Pretty. I don't know who that is. Pretty, who are you? After the 40 days, those who want to continue, does the groups change after 40 days? All right, that would require an individual consult. This group structured way of the programming, I created it over the years due to, oh, Jasmine. Okay, Jasmine. I created this structure over the years after dealing with hormonal problems in persons, metabolic dysfunctions. This was a group designed so I could address a lot of people with the same issues with elimination and also new hormonal patterns through exercise and different types of eating and supplementation. I do individual consults as well. Generally, the individual consult system works where we do grading for persons who are non-members. So if you don't hold a membership with our Spry Life platform or Spry Trading in general, we do offer the service to persons at $100 where what we do is we grade your meals, but it's on a consultancy basis. We then draft out what is happening, and then based upon what's happening, we then deliver specific results. For me to say that this group can be continued long term is unprofessional, because as your body changes, it demands different structures. So this program was written just for 40 days, specifically by myself, to address those situations for that period of time. What may happen to your body as a result may need individual consultation. Is unfavored physiolim husk okay? I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm going to bring it up now. Just bring that up into Google so I can see it, please. Physiolim husk, that term there. But what I'm going to say, guys, is that the situation with can I have a replacement? If you send a crackhead to rehab, right, or somebody is addicted to cocaine to rehab, you don't end up giving them weed or giving them heroin instead of cocaine whilst they're undergoing rehab. I don't want to promote replacement of anything with anybody, because, as I said, this program is not just nutrition. We're also addressing the undertone psychological mindset issues for moving forwards, right? So we want to eliminate the dependency of the brain on anything that is sweet. So therefore, some of you are in rehab right now, right? And that's why some of you are spazzing out, because carbs heavily affect your mood. And I've removed carbs from most of your diets. You'd have been able to have a pizza when you felt like it. The program doesn't promote that. So I know why some of you are spazzing out. It's because this thing has a direct impact on how your brain function works. That's why I suggested you read the Chimps Paradox. All right, so powdered fiber, natural psyllium husk, powder fiber supplement. Okay, so that answers the question from Simone. Yes, Simone, you can use that as a fiber replacement. All right, I didn't know what it is, But I know fiber powder, but I didn't know that was another term for it that you use, which is psyllium husk. You're not at the stage where you need to count your macros. However, when you do get there, we'll then take into account how much you can have, or maybe you can use something else. All right, so let's move on to Venice. Just tuned in. I'm feeling lightheaded today. Have to be lying down. Missed some meals, forgot lunch at home, but even before I felt lethargic today. Guys, there is really no, you're having 3 meals a day. There is really no need for you to feel lethargic. If you're having the good fats, you should not feel lethargic. You're coming off using starch, carbohydrates as an energy source into using good fats instead. So none of you should be feeling lethargic. You have to eat the meals. You have to get the body into the position that we need to get it into before the next protocols. Right? So you shouldn't be feeling lethargic, especially if you're eating what you're supposed to be eating. So Venice, I think you need to make sure you're eating the good fats, right? Because the good fats will then tap into to create an energy source for the body. So you should not feel lethargic. Okay, Simone, I'm just saying where it's a fiber powder. Okay, cool. Karine, specific workout for your arms. No, okay, let's get this straight as well. At this stage, doing more exercise on your arms because you want to drop body fat in your arms doesn't work. There is no data to suggest that you can spot reduce body fat. In fact, doing more exercise on your arms at this stage is only going to cause you to build more muscle tissue if you train it more regularly, which is going to cause your arm to look bigger, if that's what you're trying to do. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the program is a balanced program across board, right? And you don't need to double up on at this stage in the yellow group on training a body part more so than the other. We're not at that stage as yet, guys. That will come in time, but we need to be patient in where we are now and get as much adaptation from where we are. So is it Jasmine says she's having 4 meals? Okay, Jasmine, that's fine. The yellow group, you can have you can have 4 meals once they stick to the portion guide control, which is the size of your hand, right? The protein, the fat, and so on. You just get to have an extra meal that has a good fat as energy and not carbohydrates, right? So the 4th meal, so it should be 1 meal after exercise that carries a starch, and then the other 3 meals there should be no carbohydrate, and it should be the carbohydrate should be replaced with good fats. All right, so that is that. Let's go see if is there any more questions coming. Check through on WhatsApp and then go back to YouTube. Okay, back in the WhatsApp we have a question here from Lati. He's asking, please talk about portions for yellow group. Guys, the portions is the chart that shows the hand. All right, I'll send it back in the group. You're not counting calories as yet. All you're doing in this stage is using your hand to get the portion sizes. That's it. Your hand is dependent upon your hand. Nothing else. Nobody else's hand. Your hand is dependent upon your. Okay, let me send out this. So I've just sent the portion size back into the group. This is what the portion size is, guys. Your proteins, right? Okay, are in the middle of your hand, which is about 3 to 4 ounces. Your thumb is the good fat. So that's the avocado, the coconut, or the nuts and seeds, right? The front of your hand close is about half a cup. And then 1 cup is the hand fist close. So everything is a portion sized. And that's it. There is no weighing and measuring just yet for anybody in these groups now. This will be addressed in the round table when you start to make progress. But it's only been 6 days in. Not even. This is the 6th day. Not even. This is the 5th day. So guys, just focus on what the task at hand. With it's repetitive. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be exciting. It's going to be creating discipline to maintain and sustain the results that you want. So a lot of it may become monotonous. Yeah, you can change up your food, how you cook it, just once you do it how you're advised to do it, but it's not going to become as exciting as eating chocolate cake and whatever your heart's desire. This is just not, you just can't do that right now. The next program you go on, which is 1 meal a day, gives you more room to have other types of foods. But you will only be able to have these foods one time a day. There's just different stages to this. Coyote, can I choose sugar-free gum? I mean, if you want to, why do you need to? But if you want to, why do you want to, Coyote? Why do you need to eat sugar-free gum? Can I eat mussels? It's high in protein, low carb. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, Coyote. Definitely. Mussels are there. If that's where you want to take your protein from, that's fine. Just make sure no oil was added to these mussels. So yes, Coyote, you're absolutely. Once it's low in protein, low in carb, low in fat, it's classed as a lean protein. All right. All right, so I'll go back to YouTube in 1 minute. Okay, so Vanessa has brought something back here. You feel dizzy. So we got Vanessa saying you feel dizzy, you're on 1 meal a day. This dizziness is still continuing now, or is it starting to be reduced? Because sometimes dizziness is a demand for sugar, because of what you used to put the body through. It's a previous adaptation that you're trying to go back to. So, are you still feeling dizzy, Vanessa? Question, do we take 1 meal and split it into 3 portions for yellow group? No, Lati. Your meal is dependent upon the size of your hand. And you're entitled to have 4 meals a day in the yellow group. 1 post-workout, the rest at any time with no carbs and a replacement of fat. Denise, no, there is no way you could have lost 3% body fat as yet. Based upon the process of triglycerides from the cells, absolutely not going to happen in 1 week. Maybe 1%, right? But as I said, the round table is designed at a 10-day period for a reason. All of this thing is data science, this data. You will not lose 3%. You will, there is no way you can lose 3% body fat in a week. Absolutely impossible. Yeah, because of how changes happen at a cellular level. It's the cells have to go through an undulating process before that happens. If you get 3% in a month as a female, That would be exceptional. There's no group change until we reach round table. And you guys will see why until we reach the round table. So please just keep your head down. Get the adaptations you need to get from this phase. Because trust me, there's no rush to get to OMAD. And there's really no rush to get to the blue group until you plateau. The plateauing is what signals the change. Right, guys? The programming on how it's done is done with specific reasons, right? So we know the benchmarks that we're looking out for. I just want you to continue being patient, continue to keep developing mental status, and bear with us, because it's a lot of bearing that you're going to have to do to get to the next stage. This dizziness situation of anybody, are you having 3 to 4 meals and still feeling dizzy? That's what I would like to know. Okay, Lati, yes, you're doing it right. You're doing it right. You can have up to 4 meals in the yellow group, but you have to eat those 4 meals in an 8-hour window. Only one of those meals can carry starch. That's as simple as I can break it down to. You have to earn your starch, in other words. You do not get no starch if you do not exercise. Right? The meal after exercise allows you to have a starch. Yes, every meal you follow the hand portion guide. That's absolutely right. Every meal you follow the hand portion guide. But you obviously don't have starch in every meal. The macronutrient structure changes. Cardio exercises can't shed fat. Right? The biggest transition, the biggest promotion of losing body fat is a calorie deficit. No exercise works, no miracles of burning fat. It doesn't exist. That's a myth. Right? So there's no special exercises out there. There's special foods out there that send special information. Weights, resistance training are more responsible for dropping body fat than cardio is, and than cardio will ever be. So it's a misassociation with cardio and weight loss. That's not a direct correlation. To reduce liquid, to drop water weight. Yeah, going for long walks and water weight, but you just depleted the cells. That's all you've done. You've not burned fat. Don't misconstrue burning fat with shedding water weight. This person's not saying the live is stuck. This is on 1%, dude. Sorry? Huh? Okay, can you fix it? Okay, let me turn on the Wi-Fi. Wasn't on Wi-Fi just a minute ago. All right, let me drop back into the WhatsApp. I need to go back to YouTube, not WhatsApp. I have WhatsApp here. No, I'm not following what's being said here by Lati. You're asking about 1 meal a day. I don't get it. So the 1 meal with starch, sorry, this is yellow then, contingent to 1 workout. If you're in the yellow group, you're a high risk for me. That I classify you at high risk if you're in the yellow group, right? You don't need to be exercising twice a day if you're in the yellow group. You're just creating now new habits. Don't need to be doing that yet, right? In the yellow group. All right? However, if you want to go for if you want to go for a walk, that's fine. But I would not really recommend you getting into that now. It's only been 5 days so far. All right. So to go and do an extra workout to eat more starch in the yellow group, you can do it, but it's not that important. So we got Laura here. I'm in the yellow group. Before this challenge, I would fast 16/8, but I wasn't having whole foods. The last 2 days I've been fasting longer and eating 1 meal a day. Is that okay to optimizing my fat loss? Yes, Lauren, it is. As I've explained before, and I will reiterate this again, fat loss, weight loss, comes from the body being able to adapt to a stimuli causes plateau. That is why a traditional nutritional program leads to plateauing. And I don't write programs for people and leave them with programs for nutrition. It's a constant follow-up, because the moment the body hits the plateau is the moment we need to find a new stimuli. So a new stimuli could be time, which is you going to OMAD. A new restriction could be food portion size, and a new restriction could be the types of foods. Those are the 3 protocols to writing an effective program. Right, so that's the situation that we want to then look into there. Just put it there so I can still have access. So, but that's jumping the gun. That's really jumping the gun, because we've only been doing this for 5 days. So to progress to a different group straight away, I don't think that's necessary as yet, because you're going to run out of the stimuli, and you're going to run out of the stimuli before the time. The stimuli are kept there for when the body actually really plateaus. So are you saying you were plateauing? Do we have another question that's coming there? Lauren, sorry, stop calling you Laura. I'm sorry, Laura. Lauren. The other group eats so much food if they have the highest BMI. Okay, I don't understand this one, Lati. A BMI means nothing to me, to be honest. A body mass index is irrelevant for me. The metrics that I use, guys, I can't teach you this. I can't teach you my professional standpoints overnight. I can teach you how the process goes, but please do understand that because I've been exposed to so much different material from so much different research, there are things that are in the program that you can't understand just yet because it's at a cellular level that I'm trying to promote the change. And that would mean I would have to lecture a course on how to teach nutrition for you to have that information. So the yellow group is not having so much food. If you look on your portion size of your hand, each meal is around about 300 calories, right? If you're doing it right, each meal doesn't go above 400 calories. So if you're eating 4 times for the day at 400 calories, you're never going to go above 1600 calories. It's also still calorie restrictive, but we're using portions to guide. So if anybody who is having too much food in the yellow group per portion, that's because you're not following the information that was given. There is no way you can have too much food in the yellow group. It cannot happen. The only way if that happens is if you're laying out the portions not based upon the guide, and laying out the portions solely based upon how you feel or how you have been doing from before. But if you look at the portion of the hand, there's absolutely no way you can go wrong. No way. Absolutely not. The yellow group is trying to balance their metabolism, which is more important for weight loss. One of the tricks about weight loss, you can actually eat more food to lose weight. Some people whose metabolism is destroyed, we actually increase the amount of food you eat to lose weight. That's one of the protocols that's in the program. We stabilize and up your intake to repair metabolism, right? Because chances are, if you're a female at 27% body fat or more, your metabolism is being destroyed. So we're trying to fix it with more food. But more whole foods, more whole foods are dense. The problem with processed food, ultra processed food do not leave you full up or it satiates you. So you keep eating more and more food. So it's right. So yeah, so you'll never, Simone, you'll never get over it. If you're not using your hand to really guide you in a portion size, like I see some persons put fat on their plate and they're using 2 pieces of pear. The fat clearly states it's a thumb size. That's not 2 pieces of pear. That's a half of a piece of pear, a half of a slice of a pear. So if you're having 2 slices of pear, you're having four meals in one sitting. And that's the biggest problem with eating, is people are having too much in one sitting. For some persons, anyway. So Lauren saying that the just the days I get busy at work, I'm unable to fast longer. But I don't think I'm plateauing. Even if you even if you eat even if you have a busy day, you have to just find a way to put the meal in a container and spend 2 minutes to eat it. All right, I have some clients that they're on the road and it's meal time. And what they will do, so when you're in the yellow group, if it's meal time, eat the meals, because you're not going to get this opportunity again when you move to the green group. So you're going to debunk what we're trying to do without even getting the result. If you're in yellow for a reason. Stick to the yellow rules, please. All right, there is no accommodation, because this has been heavily thought out and structured. If you're on the road, driving your car, and you can't get the food you need on the road, pull over to a petrol garage, buy a can of tuna in water, buy a packet of almonds unsalted, right? And buy a green juice, or eat the greens that you can find raw. All right? That constitutes a meal. A packet of almonds, a can of tuna for your protein, all right? And you just need to either find a green juice that's unsweetened with no fruits in it, or you just eat some greens that's not being cooked. Understood? Denise, if your numbers are outside the yellow zone, can you prove that by sending that to me, please? That means you would have done a DEXA scan, or you did a biosignature, or you did a caliper test to then, which nobody's expected to. Let's just make this clear. You're not expected to do any of those tests. All right? This is for reference. I'm just concerned about the movement of the weight so quickly. So Denise, can you prove to me your numbers have moved? And if so, if you still insist that you want to move, your next stage will be to move to the yellow group. Sorry, to move to the green group, which is OMAD. You would be moving into OMADing if you're confident that the numbers have moved. Okay, let me scoot back over to YouTube. We've got another 20 minutes for this live. Okay, where can we get the information here? Just bring back up the YouTube so I can see it. Take it. So let's have a look back on YouTube. Mitzi Burton, I need to be on pain medication, which requires to have a meal. How do I do this if I'm in the green group? But if you're on medication, we need to move you back out of the green back into the yellow. Health comes before everything else. So if you're on medication for health reasons, we would then need to then move you back over to another group that accommodates what needs to be accommodated. So Mitzi will move you back to the other group to promote you taking your medication. Okay, we're getting another message from Jasmine. So are we grilling our meats in coconut oil, or are we just using palm spray? Palm spray, or grill them. Grill without any oil, no oil. If you use coconut oil, just use a tablespoon. That's 14 grams times 9. That is almost 120 calories. That is cycling for 20 minutes. Bear that in mind. So Denise, as I said, if your body fat is outside the numbers, we can progress you early to OMAD. I would have to bring up why you got, when was this C given? So guys, just like an exam, hey, can you pay attention please? Just like when just like when you do an exam and you have different markers of a test paper, you may get, somebody may get 90%, somebody may get 78, right? The markers on the program may vary slightly, but it's still generally the same. I would have looked at, I want to look at it to see if I can then oversee what you're saying. But okay, yesterday. You have MyFitnessPal here? Sorry, you have the Healthy on here? So, okay, where is it? Can you bring, let's just have a look at the one from yesterday. That says Monday, that doesn't say Healthy. Okay guys, let me see if I can then bring in the example that's being, I don't want to come off. Can you, are you able to send the meal in the WhatsApp group please, Jasmine? Let's have a look. But as I said, the markers may vary slightly, not massively. But I'm guessing from the top of my head without even seeing it, that it's likely that it appears to be less than 4 ounces. That just could be one of the reasons. Maybe be 3 ounces. That means it wouldn't be enough. But let's have a look. WhatsApp please. Okay, Denise, no problem. All right, seeing your message there. But you will eventually move, guys, right? You will move because your body will plateau. You will stop losing weight. That's why if somebody writes you a fat loss program indefinitely, that's ridiculous. Or tell you to check back in 8 to 12 weeks, that's ridiculous. All right. Okay, so Jasmine, I can see why. All right. So talk to me here, Jasmine. So I'm seeing it doesn't look like it's 4 ounces, but if you measure it, yes, it may just be 4 ounces. So this was at 1:15 p.m. I would speak to the marker who was on at that time, just like you would do with any tests that you do if you're doing a maths test or an English. Well, we won't use maths because maths is exact science. Remember, we're looking at a plate here. We're not using a scale to measure and weigh. So, also your string beans look very shiny. Did you put oil on these string beans, Jasmine? But it does look like a small amount of protein based upon how the plate is laid out, right? It does look like a small amount of protein. But as you said, if you measured it and it's 4 ounces, 4 ounces it is. All right, so we're not seeing. Let's shoot back over to WhatsApp to see if we get anything else. Guys, we've got another 8 minutes here till I come off. All right. So everybody now all of a sudden doesn't want to move. So, okay, this is currently, somebody sent this. Who is this? Who just sent this? Coyote. All right, Coyote. So I'm going to publicly grade this. And I will publicly grade this personally, I would grade you as an F. Right. I would give you an F, a big fat F. That's what I would give you. And the reason why I'd give you a big fat F is, one, you said it already. I didn't even need to tell you. So Coyote, we've realized that you're stubborn. Yeah? You're a stubborn Coyote. And you also know that there's too much coconut. So why are you succumbing to your chimp? Why are you letting your chimp to dictate what it is that you're supposed to do when your irrational mind just clearly stated what you're supposed to do? Your rational mind came after the fact and stated clearly that you have way too much good fats here, and the lettuce that you're having, lettuce doesn't carry enough fiber, so you're gonna have toilet problems. All right. So, guys, you're not working with me. I draw out the chart for a reason. Hold this. I designed this program how it is for a reason, you know? Let's go back into what WhatsApp is saying. So yeah, lettuce is not cruciferous. Oh, sorry, that was Antoinette that said it. And too much coat. So Antoinette, you could be a marker. We could get you on as a marker, man. Renee, yes, you can eat lettuce, but lettuce is not a cruciferous, right? Callaloo is cruciferous. Pak choy is cruciferous. Cabbage is cruciferous. So sorry there, Coyote. Sorry, Coyote, that's not gonna happen. Why the green group only eats one meal if they're slimmer than the yellow group? Lati, you're not listening to what I'm saying. You're not listening at all. Some persons need to eat more food in order to lose weight. Okay? Some persons need to eat more food to lose weight. Weight loss isn't just how little food can you eat, especially fat loss. As I said, food is information. Eating whole foods at the stage of 27% plus body fat is sending the right kind of information to get the body to heal itself. You have to deal with inflammatory issues. 27%. Just a second. Right? So that's how this thing. Sorry guys, I had a phone call coming from one of my other what do you describe you guys as? Members, right? Guys, I'm trying to help a lot of you across the world, right? This is a global nutritional revolution where persons really don't understand what to eat. So we're just making sure people have the same information, right? So, Lati, you need to understand this is not a race to eat as little food as possible. That's not what it is. This is a very intricate and complex process that requires a different level of science at different stages. So please do not misconstrue thinking that it's as simple as 1, 2, 3. Oh, you drop body fat. Okay, eat less food. No, it is not that simple. Not that simple at all. All right, guys, we're gonna wind down now and wrap up. All right, I've got to go and speak to a church. No, the chart, Jasmine, the chart is for visibility purposes. The chart is not a replication of what it's supposed to be. That is why we send an accurate portion control chart along with. The Spry Nutrition chart is only a visual a visual display of what types of foods. Remember, you have type of food, size of food, timing of food. Guys, I can't give you a whole entire degree of nutritional science in 40 days. Unfortunately, I may be able to give you one module. But please, people, that's why we're doing this in the community. I need you to develop my trust. I need you to become trusting of what I'm telling you. I have some idea of what I'm doing, and trust me, I'm making the right decisions for you as we go along. What else came in here? Okay, so I just had this post-workout sardine, water, egg whites, super salad, cucumbers, and plantain. Absolutely spot on. That's Nas. Well done, Nas. That's spot on. Well done. Hope you had some water to go with that. Can you teach us how to read food labels? No, that's not going to be taught yet. I said after the first round table that will be taught. Guys, you don't need a bombardment of information. The reason why I don't believe in teaching people how to read food labels initially in terms of macronutrients, because it's too complex and the buying is too much. I don't need you to be buying in psychologically at that level just yet where you need to be weighing and measuring. I need you to just understand portioning right now. Nothing else. Nothing to do with metrics just yet. That is going to come in time. And that comes after. If there was somebody here in the blue group, it vary. But there's no blue group persons here right now. Thank you, Denise. Yes, you guys have to trust me. All right? You have to trust my, so to say, expert knowledge. I mean, God has blessed me with the opportunity to help a lot of people with different ailments and issues. As a functional nutritionist, as I said, I'm looking at the whole entire being. I'm not just focusing on calories in, calories out. Absolutely not, because that's not how you fix health, right? Because I'm guaranteeing you all your health markers is going to change. I guarantee it. If you did any blood before this and you do blood after this, I guarantee your biomarkers will improve. Your LDL will change, your HDL will change, your triglycerides will change, your glucose will change slightly, and also your hormones will change too. Your testosterone will definitely improve. Your free testosterone, your sex SBGH, the sex combining hormone that really dictates what happens to testosterone. Free testosterone will change too. All right. This is me. If Jay said so, it's so it go. Right, because guys, you know why that is. All right. Please appreciate. It is going to take you a degree to understand some of the things why. Because when I start to break things down to cellular level and talk about chromosomes and the end of a telomere at the end of a chromosome and cell life and what happens to cell life when the chromosomes don't go through a period of fasting, because the latest studies have shown that your telomere length at the end of the chromosome, which is inside the cells, will increase in length, or sorry, not slow as much as it used to if you stop eating ultra processed food in comparison to eating processed food, right? So the data is out on what the types of food do to the types and what ultra processed food does to our genes and how our genes affect lifestyle. Sorry, and the lifestyle impact on genes. These studies are deep, and I don't want to start waffling with a lot of information, guys, where you're like, what the hell is he talking about? I just want to lose some fat. But if I dig into certain things, I will have to provide you the evidence, and the evidence is deep. Is that understood? All right. So moving on now. This would be misleading. I got an A for lettuce. Guys, you won't be okay. Please understand that I said that if I was marking that paper, if I was marking it, I give an F. The other instructors can give you what they want because they can rationalize what they are going to give you, not out of context. Lettuce is still a vegetable. It's just not a cruciferous vegetable. I'm going to get really antsy with you if you're not having cruciferous. However, another examiner may turn around and say, well, the person they did better than they did yesterday. At least they're eating some type of vegetable because they wasn't eating vegetables before. So what you need to understand is the relationship development over time from the instructor or the assessor is going to also take into account your previous performance when giving out a mark. So if you're improving by using lettuce, that warrants some motivation by giving you a higher score mark. So it's not necessarily misleading, but I see your technocratic standpoint. Is this person a lawyer? Is Antoinette a lawyer? Antoinette, are you a lawyer by any chance? Or you see that meal that got the A from Renee? I mean, I would have given that meal, I would have scored that meal down a lot. But I guess it's where you're coming from. Where you're coming from, the person feels that you warrant some level of positive commendation for your actions. So no, Antoinette, you're not a lawyer. Pre-menopause woman, guys, that's a blood test. Don't go there, please, Lati. You'd have to consult me individually for that, and I can send you a list of the blood markers that I need. I cannot consult menopause in a group. First, we'd have to your progesterone. So much of a hormonal standpoints that I would have to consult you on if you're going through menopause. And for me, big deal about menopause. I can find ways around menopause and fat loss. I can find ways around PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and weight and fat loss. I can change your blood from putting information inside there through nutrition. Trust me. So if you want to consult on that one, we'd have to consult on that. But I cannot generalize PCOS. I cannot generalize menopause. And I have to consult with my doctor here as well, because we have doctors that consult as well. So my doctor would have to go through your bloods. I can read your bloods, but in some countries I'm not allowed to comment on blood markers unless a doctor had advised previously. So please understand that as well. We're wrapping up now, guys. Last one. Okay, let's just run through the last one. I'm just going to run through quickly WhatsApp, and then I'm going to run through on YouTube. All right, so yeah, that's correct. As per Jay said, I can eat, but it's not cruciferous, but he won't give you what you need. Yes, Renee. All right, so good job. You guys understand that. Let us see anything there on YouTube. So nothing more coming in from WhatsApp right now, but on YouTube, let's go. Okay, what do we have on YouTube? I trust you. I just want to be a great student. That's fine. Anything else? Up, scroll back up. Okay, understandable. You want to be a great student, but part of being a great student, guys, the data is going to come over time. All right, the data is not going to come to you. I can't just walk into the classroom and say, all right, I'm going to teach you every needed thing you need by the end of the semester in a week. Come on, people. I'm going to teach the semester over the semester's period. All right? And according to what is happening in the semester based upon the majority of students. All right? So this group has a majority share of yellow. So that will mean I know I'm going to pay more attention to particular areas, right? Because yellow for me is high risk, right? We have health risk there too. One-on-one training, it depends. We got different programs. I can't go through that now. I can send you more information. Just scroll down so I can see, because I'm going to wrap off now. All right, so well done, guys. Thank you for joining me. It is an absolute pleasure. Thank you first and foremost for choosing the Spry team to assist you to burn fat. All right, because there's many others out there that you could have chosen. Thank you for choosing us. I really and truly appreciate it. Bear with me in the week, because I am consulting in-house and outside at least 500 people per day. All right, so we're trying to make sure that everybody else has thing going on. We've got corporate stuff going on outside, but that doesn't mean you will not have my attention. I have scheduled my attention on the accountability calls for a reason, to make sure that you do get me when you're supposed to get me. But outside of that, I will keep close eye on the group. I will try and answer questions, but I cannot promise outside of the designated time that I will. My team will refer stuff back to me if it's immediate. But thank you for your cooperation so far. Please remember, an ounce of discipline is needed, and it is a lifestyle modification, lifestyle change, and it's not going to happen overnight. All right, guys? So talk soon. And thanks again for joining me. Bye-bye.